Is it on? Can everybody hear me out there? There was a thumbs down back there. Who did that? Was that you, Terry? No, it was not Terry. Can't do lies, Terry. How's everyone doing? Boy, that is an unenthusiastic good. We got some cool soup tankers here. Let's try that again. How's everyone doing? Up to a C+. Let's try one more time. How's everyone doing? Beautiful. Well, we're going to have some fun today, and we're going to have a few comments from some of our distinguished guests, and then we're going to get right to the Supe Tank presentations. 9 superintendents are going to be pitching their best stuff. We're going to look forward to hearing what they have to do, and at the reception, go seek them out, talk about more things that they are interested in, and hopefully we'll make some connections on this. Want to, first of all, give you the network, if you haven't got that already. It's a long one. QVisit/, not slash, I'm sorry, hyphen. I'm trying to confuse you guys already, for God's sake. Capital SAN at qcguest.com. Let's try that again. QVisit, okay, hyphen, capital SAN at qcguest.com. And the password is 938984. Password is 938984. You're in for a treat today. My name is Drew Schlossberg. I've been involved with Classroom of the Future Foundation since its inception in 1997, and it's good to see so many familiar faces and new faces here to Classroom of the Future. I got a whole bunch of events that are be coming up next year. Some have been to our summit, our annual event at SeaWorld. And this is a new one, and it's due to the brainchild of Tim Baird. You're going to hear from Tim in a few minutes on this. What we hope happens is we're going to be putting this up on our website, so if you miss notes and all that business, you'll be able to communicate with the superintendents after this Supe Tank presentation. And next year, Tim assures me that we're going to have 500 people in this auditorium. Is that right, Tim? All right, that sounds good. That sounds great. Here's the agenda. Going to introduce in a few seconds here Dr. Paul Gothold, County Office of Education Superintendent. Then we're honored to meet the new president of National University. I'm going to say a few words, Dr. Mark Milleron. And then I'll turn over to Tim Baird. And you're going to hear just 9 very, very cool Supe Tank presentations. Do not forget that there is a reception in the patio from 5 to 6:30, and opportunity to chat with your friends and really dig deep into the presentations that you've heard today. Certainly, as you've heard many, many times, we can't do this without our sponsors, and we've been blessed at CFF to have some great sponsors throughout the year. Cox Communications has always sponsored this event, and they are doing that again, so we want to give a shout out to them. There'll be more you'll hear from Cox at our reception as well. Now it's my pleasure to bring up to the podium. He is the superintendent of the San Diego County Office of Education, Dr. Paul Gothold. Say a few remarks, and anyone who's worked with Paul, you know that he is one cool cat. Let's give a round of applause to Paul Gothold.
Thank you, Drew, and good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to see you here today, and what a great opportunity for my colleagues and superintendents. It's been a rough couple of years, 2.5 years. Someone asked me how long I've been here, and I said I'm going on my 6th, 2 with an asterisk. Superintendents have had a tough go, and the fact that we spent some time not only to showcase their skills, their vision for their respective districts, but just take a moment to appreciate everything they do. And it's not just the superintendent sitting in front of me, but when I see Andre, Holly, Dr. McClurgan, Delmar, Encinitas, Tina Douglas over at San Diego, just thank you for the work, and it's such an honor and privilege to work side by side with you to just make this a better place for our children. I'd like to, for those of you who don't know, our office has the honor and privilege of supporting all 42 districts, 150 charter schools throughout this region. We work very closely, some more than others. And to do that work, we need an incredibly courageous, supportive, and forward-thinking board. Unfortunately, we do. So it's an honor and privilege to recognize our board president, Rick Shea. And board member Paulette Donnellan. Thank you for your unwavering support of our office, our kids and programs, and everything that you do. I also too want to welcome Mill Iron. Is that right? Mill Iron, new president of National University. Welcome to San Diego. Congratulations on your appointment. National is a very important partner to our district, does so much, the teacher pipeline, PD4, and really preparing our teachers to do outstanding work for our kids. And then I'd be remiss without saying thank you to Jane, to Drew, and I didn't see Randy, but who are really, the backbone of CFF. And just take an opportunity to tell you just recently what's going on. They've done so much work around supporting our districts and schools, innovative programs, scholarships for kids, the list goes on. But just recently, in the work around the digital divide, and thanks to the generous support of SDG&E, for the first time, we're getting Starlink satellite solutions, some of our most underserved areas in this county, in our tribal reservations, and there will be 50 satellites coming up in any day that will not only support just one family household, but the surrounding as well. So give them a round of applause for doing whatever it takes to support our kids and families, and really that's what we're all about. So really the show is about these folks sitting right in front of here. Tim, it's an honor and privilege to have you on the board as a former Supe friend and colleague. Thank you for bringing this to our region, and have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Let's have another round of applause for Dr. Paul Gothold. Now, let's see if I don't butcher this name over here. And Dr. Mark, I apologize for that. Mill Iron. He is president of National University. He comes from a senior vice president of Western Governors University and the executive dean of the School of Education, the largest college of education in the U.S. Served as deputy director for post-secondary success with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Before we bring up Dr. Mill Iron, I want to give a shout out to his colleague that has just done unbelievable work with CFF and pretty much anybody in town. We're honored to call her friend, call her board member, and Dr. Nancy Rowland, why don't you take a bow? Okay, Dr. Mill Iron, it's all yours. Come on up. Round of applause.
I'm going to begin with some really good news. I have no PowerPoint. I do a lot of student focus groups, and students have taught me that some people who use PowerPoint have no power nor a point. So I'm always very careful about that. I do just want to bring greetings from National University and congratulate you on doing this kind of catalytic work. In our work, trying to do the outreach to try to connect with students in San Diego and around the country, one of the things we know is we need people who think differently, who kind of think out of the box. We serve 40,000 students in all 50 states and 20 countries, but we focus on students who are working and who are considered non-traditional. I would call them post-traditional. We're trying to serve the working students in particular, and one of our most profound areas is in the world of education, the Sanford College of Education, all the way to the work we're doing with our Harmony SEL programs. How many of you are very familiar with Harmony SEL? Okay, that work has probably reached 15 million students all around the country, tens of thousands of educators trying to work on the conversations around SEL in the classrooms. We have another program called Inspire Learning and Leadership, which is all focused on trying to help beginning teachers kind of get their chops. And then we're the top teacher education provider in the state of California and one of the top all around the country. So we are deeply committed to this work of education. And one of the things I would just leave you with in thinking about the conversations you're going to have today is, as you're working with leaders educationally, working with leaders in education all around the country, one of the things is really clear. The last 2 years have been very hard. Are you with me on that? Yeah, it's been tough. In the university world, community college world, and in the public school world in particular. And one of the things that's been rough, in addition to just the hardcore challenges of COVID and political turmoil and social justice challenges, is just the exhaustion of our teams, right? It's almost like the pure exhaustion of having to deal with all the new and novel, that they're almost at the point now where they're like, for the love of God, do not let our principals or superintendents go to another conference and come back with another idea, right? Because they're kind of worn out, the initiative fatigue. We're seeing it at our own university around this. But what's hard about that conversation is we're in a moment right now where some people are saying, okay, as we kind of enter an endemic phase, a different phase, we need to just go back to normal. Let's just go back to normal. The challenge is, and you all know this because you're the leaders of this space, normal wasn't working for a whole lot of students, right? Okay, and what we need to think about is, as all the work we did to innovate during the pandemic, tons of good work was done. We learned about all kinds of new possible ways we can teach and reach students. And so some people are saying, hey, let's adopt a new normal, and I'm going to argue new normal is probably not enough. New normal can get us part of the way there, but I think what we need to think about, and I'm going to steal a phrase from Hans Rosling. Some of you might know his work. He's kind of an international change maker, passed away a couple months ago, actually. But his kids are carrying on his legacy. They're both PhDs, and he was an innovator at everything from nuclear winter to global health to maternal health in sub-Saharan Africa. He was about big problems and trying to solve big problems. And he wrote, his last book was a book called Factfulness, where he made the case through data, and he's one of the best data visualization people on the planet. Big things can be done. We can do big things all around the world if we take it on. And the big thing he really showed about is global poverty and extreme poverty, and the fact that in the last 30, 40 years, we've brought extreme poverty around the world from almost 40% down into the single digits. Tons of work on global debt relief, maternal health, vaccination. And in his book, Factfulness, he coins this phrase where he says, for the love of God, don't call me an optimist. An optimist makes me seem like I'm too idealistic and I'm not very practical. He goes, call me a possibilist. A possibilist is somebody who can look at the hard data and can see a path to the impact they want to be able to make. So what I would argue right now, and what you're going to be talking about today with the creative kind of presentations you're going to see, is we need to come together as educational leaders and vision a new possible. Right? Vision a new possible. Think about the policies, the practices, the teaching strategies, the learning technologies, the deep personal connections we want to make with our students and with each other, and how we can create a healthy learning environment by kind of braiding our incredible teaching and learning together with work on SEL, DEI, basic needs, mental health, and kind of the broader cross-section of work. It's a time for deep innovators who want to vision what a new possible is going to be. And we have to help people understand we want to do this in a healthy way. We don't want to wear them out. We don't want to tear them up. We want to engage them. And how can we do great work in a great way? And that's going to mean creativity. That's going to mean the kind of presentations you're going to hear today, which is going to be fantastic. So we at National are thrilled to be a catalyst for this and to be a part of this larger conversation, honored to be in this mix. And just want to say we're looking forward to seeing some great ideas. Thanks, everybody.
Now, anybody that knows me knows that I do not know technology, which is I barely know how two tin cans and a string work. And so just to prove that, that's what we should have had up there. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. Now I got the right one up there. It's my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Tim Baird. Tim is the creator, the brainchild of Supe Tank. He's on the CFF board of directors. But before I bring Tim up, there's a whole bunch of superintendents that are in this audience that aren't making presentations, but we'll be making them the next time we do a Supe Tank. So if you're a superintendent in the audience, please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Thank you so much. Tim, it is all yours. I know we're excited to hear what these 3 minutes are going to bring from each one of these wonderful superintendents. They've been practicing this for a while. I was looking for my good friend David Miyashiro. David was just interviewed in our, is David here? Do we have David here? Not here. He's going to be coming up later. David was interviewed in our Future Pathways Superintendents Unplugged series. Some of the folks that are doing the presentations today have done that too. So if you're a superintendent and you have not been on our podcast series, I will be looking for you and get you on that. Anyway, let's give a round of applause to Dr. Tim Baird.
All right. Okay, I can do this. Is it on? Okay. All right. Welcome. We are very excited for Supe Tank. So I want to start by talking about our region, our amazing San Diego region. This is a place that is celebrated for its diversity of ecosystems, of culture, of people. And I think that's what brings so many forward-thinking organizations, leaders, students, workers to our region, because where else can you do that? You know, whether it's because of the surf or some other magic in the air or our diversity, San Diego is an innovation hub. The San Diego region, San Diego County is an innovation hub. We have world-class universities. We have cutting-edge technology corporations and companies like Qualcomm here. We have amazing, amazing things happening all over the place, and it's due to the creative, interesting people, some of who you're going to meet here in just a second. I also understand we make good beer. I've heard this. So we're a pretty creative place. And that creativity does not just extend to higher ed and our local businesses and organizations. I believe that our local public schools are also innovation hubs that are world-class. As Paul mentioned, we have 42 school districts here in San Diego County. We have almost 500,000 students, and there are millions of great ideas that occur in our school districts every single year, most that you don't hear about. So the Classroom of the Future Foundation, one of our visions is to inspire, support, and celebrate that innovation in our San Diego County public schools. Today, we're going to get a chance to do that. So it started with an idea. We talked about this idea of what if we could bring together the creativity of our superintendents and the fun of the TV show Shark Tank. And you've seen the show probably where people come up and they pitch their idea and then they hopefully connect with supporters for that idea. We started back at version 1. We had 4 superintendents. 3 of them are here today. And they participated in a career technical education presentation at National University back in April. And fortunately, no superintendents were injured during Supe Tank version 1. But we wanted to go bigger. And that led to Supe Tank 2.0. We have 9 superintendents with you here today. They're going to share some innovative changes and ideas that they have for their school districts. But we realized we needed a bigger boat. And that brings us here to Qualcomm Hall. We have more soups. We have more ideas, more partners, more of everything coming for you today. So it's a little bit different than regular Supe Tank. We're not going to have sharks sitting out here peppering them with questions, trying to get 50% of their school district. We are actually going to have them present their idea and then have a chance to talk with you during the reception, answer questions, hopefully find some partners out there, and then see where these ideas take us. So with that, let's get started with Supe Tank. We're going to bring up our very first Supe Tanker. This is Dr. Ben Churchill from the Carlsbad Unified School District. Big hand for Ben.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. First, before I get started on the pitch, I just want to see if my people are here. By a show of hands, let me know if at any point today, either in the office or at home, you consumed some amount of Halloween candy. A few. All right. By a show of hands, did you have it for breakfast? Heck yeah, my people are here. Outstanding. My wife said it was a bad idea. She was right. All right, so my name is Ben Churchill. I'm a proud superintendent in Carlsbad Unified School District. I'm also fortunate to serve as the chairperson this year for Classroom of the Future Foundation, and I'm thrilled to serve in that role. In Carlsbad Unified School District, we've recently embarked on a 3-year strategic plan for career pathways. Our goal is to find a way to make sure that every student, we have 11,000 students in our district, K through 12, we want to make sure every one of those students is connected in some way to the world of work and career, so that when they leave our doors, whether it's to go serve proudly in the military, whether they go on to a 2-year or 4-year college or university, or whether they go directly into the world of work, we want to make sure that they have a plan and they have an idea and they have some experience to serve them well in whatever their career path happens to be. You can see here the goals that our board put together a little over a year ago. I want to touch very briefly today on the 6th area there, industry and community partnerships and student work-based learning opportunities. At our 2 comprehensive high schools, we have a robust career pathways program. We have over 17 areas that are aligned with the priority sectors in our region, so that students hopefully are going to be able to either go on to college or go directly into the world of work and remain here in the San Diego region. We know that it's never too soon to start talking about career, so we've even moved into our middle schools. When we look at some of the high impact, high need, high wage areas in the San Diego region, you can see we've done things like broadcasting, game design, we've done computer science, robotics. These are all high interest activities for middle school students. One of the things that I'm really proud of is our architecture and construction pathway. You can see here a group of middle school students last year at Aviara Oaks Middle School, 6th through 8th graders who built a tiny house as part of their coursework. They sold that for a profit, put the money back into the program. The one thing at the end of the program they said, Dr. Churchill, windows are expensive. The work-based learning continuum is something I hope you're familiar with. You can see on the left-hand side of the matrix, we do things preparing students to learn about the world of work through career awareness and career exploration. One of our goals now is to get more deep into career preparation and career training. These are numbers from last year. We had nearly 2,800 students engage in some type of activity learning about the world of work. We only had 263 students who engaged in a formal internship or other hands-on practical application of work. So what I'm hoping to do today is to start a conversation with folks about internships and other hands-on activities to prepare students to learn about work by doing work. The QR code is there on the screen. It'll take you to a landing page where you can provide some information if you'd like to partner with us. We need partners to do clinical experiences, to do internships, to give students the opportunity not just to learn about the world of work, but to participate in the world of work. Internships for the win. Thank you very much.
And if you did not have your phone handy, Ben will be able to show you that QR code in just a second, or when we meet in the reception. Next up, I would like to bring up, let me show you his picture first, Dr. Joseph Clevenger from Bonsall Unified. He's going to tell you about the Bonsall Forward Initiative.
Thank you, sir. The green one. Very good. Good evening. My name is Joseph Clevenger, proud superintendent in Bonsall Unified School District. And upon hearing those words, I know what you were thinking. He is here to talk to us today about our early college model, in which 50% of our juniors and seniors take college courses on college campuses for free every single day. You'd be incorrect. You're probably thinking, in that case, he's going to talk about the internship system that they have that begins as early as 4th grade and provides 1 in 6 juniors and seniors a paid internship during their high school career. Yet again, you'd be mistaken. What I'd like to talk to you today about is a little something else. And I'd like to talk about the challenge we have currently in Bonsall Unified School District, and that is not how we reward students who have reached the finish line and are eligible for these incredible opportunities, scholarships, and entry into universities, but how we systematically shift that to get more students to that finish line. So let's start with this question. How do we increase the number of students who are ready to take advantage of the internships that we have in place? And how do we increase the number of students who are eligible for college acceptance and scholarships in this incredible STEM field we find throughout our county? Specifically, like most school districts in San Diego County, we're putting an emphasis on students who are female, Native American, African American, and Hispanic. And this is why I wanted to share with you the Bonsall Forward initiative. And as this young man has realized, whoever raises their hand the highest gets called on. He's getting after it. I really respect that. The Bonsall Forward initiative really has 3 key steps that I'm excited to share and partner with you to solve. Step 1, we are looking to create robust job shadow opportunities that begin as early as 5th grade and take place on a regular basis. 5th grade, 7th grade, and 9th grade at no cost to our students. And we want to put students in job shadow opportunities in real world facilities with real world experts. Step 2, we are going to harness the power of student choice. We have found that when students work to their strengths, interests, and values, they can do anything. What we're looking to do is partner with many of you in this room today and create a catalog which students can actually take a look at and choose where they go for their job shadow opportunity. Step 3, early and ongoing support, incentives, celebrations, and scholarships for students. Once we get students interested in these pathways, we want to make sure that we can keep them there, and we do that through celebrations and recognition. So I was told I was supposed to call you sharks. Please don't take offense. Sharks, what I am asking for today, 1, your time. I would ask you to host up to 3 job shadow opportunities during the school year. 2, we'd love some financial support. We're looking for about $70,000 to cover the cost of buses to get to you and to provide scholarships for students as early as 6th grade. And I would like to thank you for your time. And there's a QR code. Thanks, buddy.
I just want to note to the other superintendents, he was on the second, just on the second, that's all. Next up, I'd like to bring up Ilsa Garza Gonzalez, the superintendent from the Fallbrook Union High School District, to present her pitch.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here today. I'm Ilsa Garza Gonzalez from the Fallbrook Union High School District. My passion is high schools. I've worked in high schools almost all of my life. My second passion is student services. And through student services, I learned one very important thing. Students can't learn until their basic human needs are met. The second most important human need for our students is safety. And safety is what I'm going to talk to you about today. There we go. So I'm going to talk to you about an idea that I have called First Responders that will address that need for safety that many of our students feel. Because when they feel fear, it blocks any learning that we might be able to provide for them. So the idea stemmed from this, 175. What do you think that number represents? Any ideas? 175 is the number of people that died from fentanyl poisoning every day in the United States in 2020. It's gone up considerably since then. 2062? Any ideas? This is the number of reported opioid overdose reversals from May 2014 through October 2021 here in San Diego County through one nonprofit alone. 1,303 are the local overdose deaths in 2021. And a high percentage of those were accidental. 22 were between the ages of 18 and 21, and 12 were under 18. 340. Just a ray of sunshine today. This is the number of schools that have experienced an act of gun violence during school hours. 389 is the number of children, educators, and other people that have been killed in school shootings since Columbine. 188 is the number, that were injured in school shootings. 188 is the number of people that have died from school shootings. 2021 had the most school shootings since 1999. And the year 2022 is already set to exceed that number, since the numbers or the statistics right now are 50% higher than they were the same time last year. 320,000, the number of children and school staff that have experienced gun violence on their campuses. And every dot here represents each and every one of those students and staff. So currently at schools, we are to provide a first aid kit. There's the ed code that says what we should do, first aid kit. Some schools, this is it. Band-Aid, gauze, sterile gloves. At our district, you get a little bit more. We got a grant a couple of years ago, but there really is nothing there that would help us respond to a school shooting. Let me go back to that. And there are three things that we have learned since Columbine. Number one, see something, say something does work. It is effective. Number two, there is no correct way to prepare or respond. Each of these incidents is as unique as its perpetrators. And number three, they're not going to stop. One of the first documented school shootings occurred in 1891. Columbine opened our eyes to the reality that it could happen at our schools. And Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, made it clear that we have the opportunity, every student, every employee, to be a first responder. The job of law enforcement is to come in, secure the threat, not render medical aid. Fire will come in once the campus is secure to render that medical aid. Who are the first responders? Our students and our staff. So what I am asking for is that we provide every classroom with Israeli gauze, combat application tourniquet, quick clot combat gauze, and Narcan for the emergencies that I just spoke about earlier. The combat application tourniquet, emergency bandage, and the quick clot will stop the bleeding, which is what we need to do. So what I'm asking for is that you fund trauma kits that include these supplies. I have a sample today. For every one of our teachers, every one of our athletic coaches, every office, every counseling office. My campus is 60 acres wide. If there's Narcan in the nurse's office, by the time I get it across campus to someone who needs it, it could be too late. In a lockdown, we can't run to where the supplies are at. We need them in the classrooms. We have a strong ROTC program. Those students would be more than willing to jump in and help out. We have students that are willing to help with all of this. And I can obtain Narcan now, but not in the quantities that I envision. So thank you. I know I put a little downer on things, but we have to Maslow before we bloom, which basically means address basic needs so that students can learn. Thank you.
Next up, we have Carl Mueller from Coronado Unified School District.
Thank you. Before I get started, I'd just like everyone to take a huge deep breath. Exhale. That was pretty heavy information, but important for us to understand. When we get into Coronado Unified School District's presentation, I'd like to touch a little bit on the prevention side, the perpetrators of some of these crimes, and the mental health illnesses that many of our students who self-medicate to use some of the narcotics referenced in my colleagues' presentation fall to look for supports that they need. My name is Carl Mueller. I'm the proud superintendent of Coronado Unified School District. I'm in my 7th year. This photo was taken the day before school closures. So our innovation in Coronado Unified, our primary mission, we are a TK through transition program serving students 4 through age 22. Our primary focus from the day they walk through our doors until the day they walk across our stage is to prepare them for 13th grade, whatever that may look like. What will they do when they leave our care, and how have we prepared them for life beyond the walls of CUSD? Our school district, our governing board, set forth 6 years ago a long-range plan. This long-range plan sets specific measurable goals that are unique to our school community and for our student body that go above and beyond the LCFF. As you see, we serve a very large military, the U.S. Navy, strong partners with us. We currently have a graduation rate that we're proud of, and our UC CSU A through G eligibility was something that we wanted to take a look at. So we came up with some possibilities. What do we see in a graduate profile? What are the tools that we want to send our students away with, because we know the landscape of college admissions has changed? How are we adapting the services we provide, the experiences we afford our students to meet those changes that the UCs and the CSUs are looking for? So we are building our CTE pathway programs from kindergarten through 12th grade in VAPA and in STEM education. We're building those pathways so when they reach the high school, they can start taking CTE pathway courses with the goal of earning the pathway capstone completion, one of the College and Career Readiness Index. State Seal of Biliteracy, we're growing this program. There's one thing here, something else has changed, not just the landscape of public education. Post-pandemic, 1 in 4 of our students have or will have a mental health disorder. What are we doing to prepare our students to be successful when they transition beyond the walls? It's not just academics. Mental health literacy. I shared the statistic. There are some more behind me here. There are programs here in San Diego County where we can train our students to identify trouble within their peer group. We can train our students to be the first responders if they notice that one of their peers is having a difficult day. What do I do with this child who is in crisis? How do I support my friend, my classmate, or someone that I encounter within the community to ensure that we're providing them with the resources that they may need until help arrives? We want to partner with you. We're looking not just for resources to fund the trainer of the trainer models, to come into our classrooms, to work with our students so that they graduate with mental health first aid and they are mental health literate. We want to partner with an organization like National University, putting you on the spot, that can also help us with a universal screener. We want to gather data. We want to know where our students are at today. We want to assess, we want to train, and then we want to come back and see, where are we at now? Was this training impactful? Are we seeing something beyond anecdotal on our campuses that this is working? Students are our proper occupation. At the end of the day, all public educators, our proper education is our students, and our job is to do them good. We're hearing from Forbes, we're hearing from Fortune 500 companies, mental health literacy is essential for a successful workplace. The soft skills that you can't measure through the LCFF, that you can't measure through the College and Career Readiness Index. If our students are going to be prepared for life beyond the walls of Coronado Unified School District, we need to ensure that they have those soft skills to help themselves, to help their peers with mental health literacy. Thank you very much.
Only Carl will be calling out the sharks from the stage rather than vice versa. So I'm Next, very pleased to be calling up my colleague, Dr. Luis Rankin-Ibarra from the Escondido Union High School District. Luis.
That is the Escondido Union School District. It's the elementary school district. And we are so a little bit about our vision. So it always starts with the vision, to actualize the unlimited potential of every learner. In EUSD, we believe that our students are future artists, that students become poets, musicians, and yes, even scientists, and perhaps medical professionals. We serve a district that is very diverse in North County, in the city of Escondido. A little less than 80% of our students, 80% of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch. Our students need to understand, they need to see what is possible in order to achieve that American dream. And so in our district, we live and breathe by this vision. And so that brings us to the Medical Discoveries Program. And this was recently featured in CBS 8, where our students learn and explore the medical world with firsthand experience. So a little bit about the background. Through a partnership with Palomar Health, our 8th grade students spend a day at a medical facility where they go rotate through and they learn how to apply casts. They learn how to some basic first aid techniques, how to apply a tourniquet, how to perform some basic CPR skills. They spend the day with medical professionals, nurses, doctors, first responders, to see if this will enlighten a passion within them. And so we want to take this a little bit further. Imagine the possibility. What if we took this one-day experience and we turn it into a course where our students actually are trained to be CPR and first aid certified? Our students could actually realize that through hard work and education, they become much more marketable. Imagine an 8th grade student going into high school already having a certification that perhaps they would want to go into the medical professional and feed into some of the career pathways in high school. But not only that, what if they were to just go in and say, I want to be a lifeguard? Now I have the basic certifications for that. They can be a babysitter. Who wouldn't want a first aid certified person to babysit their children? So again, realizing that through hard work, anything is possible. And so here's the ask. For just $15,000, we can have a course at every one of our 5 middle schools. And again, this could impact the lives of our students and get them into, perhaps I will be a doctor, a nurse, a first responder. The possibilities are endless. Thank you.
I'm loving the different ideas I'm hearing. Next up, we're going to hear from Dr. Gina Potter from San Ysidro School District. Gina.
The green button. Green button. Oh, hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you, and thank you. It's such an honor to be here today, especially with all my superintendent friends. You can see here, there's me. That's about 5 years ago. And I think my colleague down here asked me if it was my prom picture. Thank you. I've had the pleasure to be in education for about 30 plus years, 7 districts across the state of California. And currently, I'm the very proud superintendent of San Ysidro School District. In my school district, we represent some of the most vulnerable populations of students in the state of California. And I share that in the sense that we have almost 60% of our students are English language learners. Spanish is the predominant language. However, we do represent 18 distinct languages. We also have one of the highest population of homeless students in both the county of San Diego and in the state of California. And with that, we have 1 in 4 of our students, or almost 25% of our students, are categorized as homeless under the federal McKinney-Vento Act. We also have an extremely high rate of poverty. About 75% of our students fall into the category of poverty. So what does that look like in our schools? We have 3 preschools, we have 5 elementary schools, and 2 middle schools. And if you look at the orange bar here, you can see that almost every one of our schools has over 100 students categorized as homeless. And if you look at this one school, Willow, 243 students, in a school of only 600 students roughly, is considered homeless. So when we ask our families, especially those that are unhoused, what do you need, right? What do you need to live? These are the things that they ask us for. They ask us for food, shelter, clothes, medical care, social emotional counseling, transportation, childcare, equitable access to technology. When the pandemic hit, 90% of my students either had no device and or had no internet. If you can imagine the lack of equity in technology, it was so hard to see, and it was absolutely heartbreaking to know that I had about 3 months to figure out how to write a grant in order to get them all of their devices. We accomplished the goal in 16 weeks. And 100% of our students today have technology. Thank you. We had a great team. They want washing machines and dryers. They need shoes, and they need basic things like toiletries. All of the yellow things are the things that I need help with, and it's my ask of you today. All of the things that are not highlighted in yellow, I'm going to do a shout out. This is a shout out. We have almost 40 concentric partners that we've created over the last 5 years since I've been in the district that help us with all of those things in our district that are not highlighted in yellow. These partners are wonderful partners. And I have to shout out, there's a name not on here, and Heather's in the room. Wave your hand. This Heather, that's Viva. Viva got us vaccines, and so did Dr. Gothold. I have to tell you, when the COVID pandemic hit, our community was one of the last to be seen. Yet we were a COVID epicenter with over 1,000 of 100,000 people in our community that were getting COVID for almost 2 years straight. So we're grateful to the vaccines, and we're grateful for the food, and we're grateful for backpacks and eyeglasses and all those things that we do and are able to have partnerships to give us. We're also grateful that in March of 2020, we passed not 1, but 2 general obligation bonds. Those bonds are worth $108 million. And with those bonds, we plan in the next 2 years to build a multicultural community center. And what we want to do is we want to be able to create concentric partners of other partners that can bring to our students all of those things that we currently do not have for our students. We do not have the washing machines and the dryers. We don't have enough shoes. We don't have enough eyeglasses. And we don't have enough support for this multicultural center that we're about to build with the GEO bond funds. So whatever you can do, if you're a shark and we're a minnow, if you can come help us and swim alongside with us to help us to build this community center, we're going to build the building, but we need partners to provide the resources. Even if it's just toiletries, soap, shampoo, shoes, whatever you're able to provide, we will be ever so grateful. Here's the vision. We want a multicultural center that looks stunning in San Ysidro, not like a shack. We want lots of rooms for lots of programs. We would love to have the Ballet Folklorico and basketball and volleyball. We'd love to have mariachis. We don't want to just provide the washing machines and the dryers. We want to provide hope. We want to provide joy. We want to provide life. And that's my pitch for San Ysidro School District. Thank you.
So you're seeing some of that diversity of need and those great ideas in action up here. Next, we are going to bring up Mark Stevens from Borrego Springs Unified School District. Yay!
All right, Borrego Springs. So I am here to represent the 378 students of my district. Yes, you heard that right, 378 students. And if you don't know where Borrego Springs is, try to get as far away from this place as you possibly can, and you will end up in my district, okay? So, unfortunately in life, it does matter where you start. And we've heard about some of that tonight. Students that start out at different places than most of us have. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about when you start. Because I'm here to talk about investing in our students, not investing in a program or investing in teachers or something else that's going to benefit the students. I'm talking about investing directly in them. Yes, giving kids money. I know this may be a little different for you, but I promise you it's going to make sense. Because it matters when you start. Everybody's heard of, like Warren Buffett, right? Nods your heads. You're all alive still, right? Yeah? Okay. So one of the things that he's done extremely well, besides making a lot of money, is he's lived a really long time. That's his secret. He's invested for a very long time. Because the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. Unfortunately, our kids don't have the tools that they need to start this investment. We've all seen or heard this parable before, right? This metaphor. Give a person a fish, they'll eat for a day. Teach someone to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. A lot of people use this to stop giving directly to individuals. But I'm going to use it in a different way. Because guess what? These are our students right here. 90%, you've heard a lot of percents tonight, 90% of my students are free and reduced lunch. Okay? They are sitting in this boat by themselves, not knowing what to do. Okay? They don't have bait. They don't have, their parents watching over them, telling them, coaching them how to do this, how to do that. They're on their own. Okay? So our goal is to make them as successful in life as possible. So we've started what many others have done, which is a career technical education program. We have some of the most unique programs, I think, in the county. Okay? This certified interpretive host, the only one in the state of California. Okay? You probably don't even know what certified interpretive host is, and I don't have time to tell you. Okay? Our welding program, we are the only people in San Diego County that have an experienced teacher enough to teach you how to weld titanium, because he worked actually not far from here in aerospace. Okay? So our capstone course is personal finance. After you get done with a program, you take this last course, and we're asking for you to invest in every single one of our graduating students. Luckily, remember that number 378, so it's not that many every year. It's about 30 to 35 students every single year. We're asking for $1,000 for each of those students so that when they complete one of their courses, they earn a gift from you, and they learn how to invest that themselves, and they start their journey for financial freedom. Because we know if we can give it to them now, I mean, how many of us didn't even know what a savings account was until we graduated from college, right? How many of us had money in college to invest? Not me, right? We're starting these kids off early. This is a gift for them. And that's my ask for you today.
Creative. I told you they are very creative, this group. Next, we're going to hear from Dr. Eduardo Reyes from the Chula Vista Elementary School District. Big hand, Dr. Reyes. Green button right there.
Well, hello everyone. Proud to be here. If you notice a picture, I'm actually wearing the same tie. So, Chula Vista Elementary School District, amazing district, really proud to be the superintendent. It's the largest TK6 district in California with over 28,000 students, 50 schools. 50% of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch. And we've always prioritized academics. We believe academics are really, really important in students' life. But equally important, we believe in making sure that students also are innovative, that we focus on creativity, critical thinking skills. And so even though we have a mission statement for the district, we also have a mission statement for innovation. What that means is that we prioritize to make sure that students realize their strengths and their potential, and that we match those strengths and potential with possible future careers. So how do we do that? We're very proud to, over the years, currently we have 4 stations, 4 innovation stations. We have our health station where all 4th graders attend throughout the year, they attend the health station. We have a hydro station for our 5th graders. And for all our 6th graders, we have our innovation station and our energy station. In these stations, the students get to experience and explore different careers in those fields. And so they do this by a couple of things. One, first, is they see what their individual strengths are. So we do a strength-based model. So what are their individual strengths? And also, what are their individual interests? And once they know their individual strengths and interests, then they go to the station and they get to actually do a project-based learning and find out about the wonderful careers that are within that field. So for example, if a student is innovative, artistic, and social, if those are his or her strengths, then a possible career could be music therapist. And they get to learn about, what they need to do to become a music therapist, how much schooling they need to take, how much would they be earning, and everything that revolves around preparing themselves for that career. So we're very proud to, thinking forward as the careers change and needs and wants and interests change and develop. We're very proud to announce that we're going to be launching in January a new station. It's going to be a sound station. Through a partnership with the City of Chula Vista and Chula Vista Public Library, we were able to acquire a building. Well, they gave us a building, a 4,000 square foot building for us to have this station. In that station, we're going to be having a podcast station within. We're also going to be having a sound station where students are going to be able to create music, create sound, edit. They're going to be able to do podcasting. We're talking about 6th graders, 5th graders, where they're going to be able to play all the instruments that we have in our VAPA program are going to be available for them to use them, but also they're going to be able to use the digital world to be creative through music. And so our ask is, they asked us to do a kind of like the Shark Tank, where it's, going back. Okay. Our ask is $20,000. Now, $20,000 We need that to buy the state-of-the-art equipment for, the recording studio, for the podcast studio. And I want people or organizations or individuals to be an additional partner from the ones that we have. We currently have amazing partners such as Qualcomm, SDG&E, the City of Chula Vista, IBEW, and a plethora of other amazing partners. We want you to also contribute to this opportunity where students are able to explore all the different careers in the area of sound and music. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you, Dr. Reyes. He has let me know that if anyone wants to come in at more than $20,000, they are open to that conversation. Next up for our final pitch, we are going to hear from my friend, Dr. Leangela Brady from the National School District.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Leangela Brady, and I'm the superintendent of the National School District. How many times have you heard a school district use the words global citizens or world citizens in their mission or vision statement? We will inspire and prepare the next generation of global citizens. Our goal is to help students fulfill their potential as citizens of the world. Do a little website digging and you will likely have difficulty finding any stories, services, programs, or photos linked directly to these statements. In National School District, however, we endeavor to bring these words to life. We have studied the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our students have learned about protecting the oceans, sustainable agriculture, and responsible production and consumption. They have created action plans to think globally and act locally, recorded podcasts to reduce inequalities, and this year they will create their own music related to climate action. But there's a disconnect. These projects are just school activities without a real-world, authentic audience. We need your collaboration. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals can only be realized with strong, value-added partnerships. National School District would like to invite you to be the first business in San Diego and the world to join our World Action Team. Members of the World Action Team will commit to working side by side with your future employees to address meeting the needs of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in and around National City and in your businesses. Businesses who cannot commit time can also commit funding, which would be used by the team to support additional projects. And of course, all members of the World Action Team would be spotlighted on our website, at our program events, in our press releases, and on our social media. So, business leaders, who's ready to be value added and contribute to developing the next generation of innovative and compassionate world citizens? The world is at our fingertips. Thank you.
Thank you, Leangela. So we heard about UN global goals, the arts, student safety, student health, supporting kids through a direct contribution. We heard about many, many different ways that you can participate and support our local school districts. You also got a very brief glimpse of the creativity and innovation that's occurring in our schools every single day. First, I want to thank our superintendents. Let's give a nice round of applause. And here's the good part. I'm going to hand this over to Drew, but in a few minutes, you're going to get a chance to mingle with this crowd and talk about ways that you can support them. Thank you, everyone.
And let's hear it for Dr. Tim Baird. Let's give him a round of applause. So we look forward to seeing you folks in the reception. To see a list of all of today's presenters, their presentation description, and their contact information, go to supetank.com. That's SUPETANK.com. And that URL will have all that information if you want to connect with them. I'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to our friends from Canyon Hills High School who are doing a great job videotaping. Let's give them a round of applause. To Jane and Shannon, they're the ones that put this thing together. Let's give Jane and Shannon a round of applause. Dr. Milliron, thank you for not making fun of me for butchering your name. This is the last time that'll happen. Just wishing you nothing but great success moving forward, and we know we'll continue that partnership. Dr. Gothold back there is something is one of a kind, and we've been blessed. CFF and this entire county for having him. Thank you so much, Paul, for all the things you do. You know, you folks have many choices. You're busy. We're all busy. We got some, besides the soups that presented, the soups that are in the audience, some unbelievable community leaders here. I'd spend all day shouting you out. My good friend Blair Sadler's here, Charles Parisi, Peter Kalstrom from the Workforce Partnership. You all have choices. You had a lot of things to do, and you decided to come here. And so let's give them a round of applause as well. So I encourage you folks to have a beer or wine or your favorite beverage and chat more with these wonderful superintendents. And Tim and I promise when you come back next year that we'll fill this place. And I want her to stand up and take a round of applause. Anna Schaefer from Qualcomm, unbelievably wonderful job. Please stand up. And absolutely a top shelf group over here. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Let's have some fun. Bye.